What are these crystals that mages should stay away from? Weirble wants to do what with Stark? Who's this fancy looking guy talking to Frieren like he knows the future or something? And who is this? An elf with regrets. Spoiler warning for anime people. On this channel, Frieren content will be from the perspective of manga readers that are up to date. So stay anyways and get spoiled because you can't help yourself. Depending on how many episodes season 2 will be of Frieren Beyond Journeysend, it really feels like they can stretch some chapters. Or they can really breeze through many chapters and get started on the Golden Land arc. I guess we'll find out. There was some shuffling in the staff that handled season 1, but most of the core staff members are still around and maybe in slightly different roles. There are some new character designers, so visually it might look slightly different, but it should more or less continue everything we loved about season 1 to season 2. In the first trailer, it feels like a good chunk of it might just be from the first episode. Look at the opening chapter here in chapter 61, Magic-nullifying crystal. What do we see here? Frieren, Fern, and Stark find themselves in something that might have tons of meaningful ramifications down the line for with these crystals. Jackpot. This has got to be the most hacks of all hacks kinds of crystals in all of Frieren that Kanehito decides to just throw in here. Like, why the frick have they not been using this for thousands of years against mages? What I'm talking about here is that this is a magic nullifying crystal that absorbs magic. What's more dangerous than a warrior to a mage? Stealing all their mana. How Kanehito balanced this out is that these crystals are so damn rare and practically impossible to mine because you can't use magic. So the fact that Frieren was able to just find a small piece was pretty exciting, except it absorbs their mana. As Fern keeps pointing out the danger of carrying it. For warriors like Stark, this is nothing. And the crystal itself is so rare that it's worth quite a bit of money. Why I bring this all up is that anime adaptations always have the option to share and provide more to very important lore elements to a story. And Frieren has gifted us a little more exploration and different angles, like picking up Flame's flower petals from the feet goddess to drive home certain aspects of a character from a slightly different artistic perspective. These magic nullifying crystals are just going to feel so much fan theory once again, and like every single arc from now on. Any extra information given in this episode will be telling if Kanehito has any real plans to make it a legitimate threat to mages down the line. Another really important occurrence is Frieren's party crossing paths with Weirble, the captain of the Northern Magic Corps, who is traveling alongside Granddaughter and not realized strongest mage of the first class magic exam in Serie. And oh yeah, there is Sharf. This interaction is all about Weirble trying to recruit Stark to help them fight against some demons up in the northern frontier, because it might not have mattered in the first class magic exam, but warriors are the ultimate lifesavers and assassins. It's setting up a plot that has yet to even occur in the manga, and given the hiatus, it's not coming for years. Probably. I made a video not too long ago called Setting Up Stark's Revenge Against the Demon that massacred his village. That goes more into detail of what this might mean. But in short, I think this is potentially setting up an arc in the future of what demons they could be facing, and we all know who this guy likely is if you were able to make it to the Goddess Monument arc. If the anime shows us more from this panel here, then that can give us more hints as to who Weirble, Eren, and Sharf could be facing down the line. The demons here could have connections to other lurking 7 demon sages and other greater demons like a Rivale, the bloody god of war, which takes us to one of the most important characters in all of Frieren. This guy, the greatest hero that we know of in the Hero of the South. The lore behind this guy and what happened to him is insurmountable, and what new theories we can cook up if new information gets introduced. Without going too deep into the lore, as we'll be covering the episodes extensively when it comes out, what he tells Frieren about the hero's party is going to be important about his clairvoyance. But what I'm most excited for is how much are they going to show with the 7 demon sages that ambushes the hero of the south. The exact details of this fight is very murky, and even Frieren doesn't detail the 2 demon sages that the hero's party defeated, with Grossum being the most mysterious one, as we learn even more in the Goddess Monument arc. And it wasn't until the end of the Golden Land arc we got to see exactly what happened in one of those fights against the hero's party. If we end up seeing more of how the hero of the south fight actually goes down, I'm sure it can Zoltrack all of our brains away with what we get to see that can still potentially have some kind of connection to Werewolf's party situation at the northern frontier. What happens to Schlatt and why he eliminated the memories of Mach will all be very compelling to see. Now this is going to be one of my favorite little arcs with the flashback of this other elf, Milarde. With Milarde, she is literally the only other elf other than Minas the Witch that is shrouded in mystery. I made a video about Frieren's holy emblem if you guys want to check that out, but quite potentially, Milarde could be connected to this super secret organization called the Court of the Sacred Staff. We'll break down what happens with the Boshaft stuff when we get there, but it would be quite revealing to see Milarde colored in, her personality shown, and any other clues as to what her past could entail. In terms of manga relevance, those are the most interesting parts of the trailer that gives us a sneak peek into potential new interesting insights. Other than that, I would love to see how much they are willing to stretch the Divine Revolte arc. Remember this demon kid? Apparently, she got her own little side story in the novel book 2 that Kanehito didn't write but oversaw the project and gave the okay for. The Divine Revolte arc might be the most exciting arc of the season if the season is cut short since the Aura the Guillotine stuff, since we'll be seeing Ganao and Stark flex their muscles along with Fern and Methode. Besides Revolte, I don't think we got official names of the other demons, so any expansions into those characters should be a treat on top of the fight themselves. Given what we've seen so far with the 2 trailers, those are pretty much my top 5 things that I want to see the anime kind of expand upon if any new information is given. And if I'm being honest, in the trailer, they added a lot of this fight against one of the least interesting characters. So yeah guys, let me know what you guys are looking forward to. And of course, it's another week into the Frieren manga hiatus. Yamana Kanehito and Abe Tsukasa really need a good healing priest or a senzu bean. As season 2 is underway, Kanehito is cooking up another updated script of the Foundation Festival arc to be delivered to the great mage Serie, Ashi no Megami. As she opens up the script and takes a look, it says, "At least you get peak season 2."
不合格だ。帰れ。